Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a full-blown analysis of a mystery, where rational science collides head-on with centuries-old folklore. We are looking at the Berampur Anomaly. It's a fascinating case that completely challenged the laws of modern science and literally flipped everything these researchers thought they knew completely upside down.
I mean, you really have to wonder, what actually happens when the logical, predictable world of modern science crashes into a terrifying 400-year-old curse? Can the scientific methods step up and prove a deadly myth is just, a natural biological phenomenon, or is the terror actually real? Well, that is exactly what we're going to figure out today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Our investigation doesn't kick off in some sterile, brightly lit laboratory. Nope, it starts with a terrifying nightmare. Meghna, who's a science student up in Delhi, starts dreaming of this dark, oppressive forest. There's a giant attacking bird, and, this is the absolutely crucial part, an ancient tree dripping this mysterious green liquid. Now, scientifically speaking, sure, dreams are just our subconscious processing data, right? But in this specific case, Meghna's nightmare becomes the exact catalyst for a massive biological investigation.
Part 1. The mysterious green liquid.
So here is where the myth actually turns into a testable hypothesis. Meghna's partner, Ishita, starts digging and finds these ancient texts describing something called Mrityunjay Amrit. It's this legendary nectar that's said to drip from a very specific tree, but only during the full moon. Now, looking at this through the eyes of these science students, they aren't seeing magic or divine intervention, not at all. They hypothesize that this mythical nectar is actually just a completely undiscovered biological compound. And the real shocker, the tree illustrated in that ancient text, it perfectly matches the one from Meghna's nightmare. Literally a perfect match.
Part 2. The Science Student's Quest. We are seeing a brilliant collision of two totally different worlds here. On one side, you've got the immense, ticking clock pressure of a modern Delhi lab. They have a strict deadline to create Professor Jaydev's antidote. But on the other side, we have Ishita's ancient book of folklore revealing this full moon Shri nectar. This extreme academic pressure basically pushes these students toward a totally unconventional field test. To synthesize that antidote, they realize they absolutely have to track down, extract, and analyze this Mrityunjay Amrit.
Part 3. The legend of Nishir Molo.
Let's establish the cause and effect relationship here, because it actually spans centuries. 400 years ago, a young man named Madan ignores his father's strict warnings, wanders into the forest, and spots the terrifying Nishir Mola. Cut to the present day, Meghna is having vivid dreams of the exact same tree in the exact same forest where Madan met his doom. Scientifically speaking, a correlation this precise demands investigation, right? It totally bridges the gap between a bizarre historical anomaly and modern, observable data.
Now imagine hearing the rhythm of this chant. Bum bum bash, bum bum bash, bum bum bash. These are the heavy, echoing footsteps of 4 coffin bearers. It's not just a creepy sound, it acts as a psychological weapon that instills pure, paralyzing terror in anyone who hears it. And Madan, he heard this exact same rhythm echoing through the trees right before his demise.
And the lethal consequence of this? It's absolute. Anyone who witnesses the Nishir Malo in their coffin simply doesn't survive the encounter, period. Our historical data point for this is Madan, who was found dead by a banyan tree with his eyes wide open in absolute terror. So this tells our researchers that whatever is actually out there in the Berampur forest isn't just a spooky local story. It's a fatal anomaly with a literal 100% mortality rate.
Part 4. Arrival in Berampur village.
The very second Meghna and Ishita step foot in the village, their whole scientific rationale begins to completely fracture. I mean, unexplainable environmental shifts occur instantly, a violent storm hits without any warning, dark clouds completely black out the sun, and the temple lamps, they just mysteriously extinguish, all at the exact same time. Now, for biology students, you try to write this off as just erratic weather, but for the locals, oh, this is a massive, glaring warning sign.
So we really have to ask ourselves at this point, as scientists, can we actually just write off these severe anomalies as some bizarre localized meteorology, or is this 400-year-old village actively reacting to their presence? Is this dormant curse literally waking up to defend its territory against modern intrusion?
Part 5. Midnight at the Palace.
Their methodology here is incredibly stealthy and honestly, highly calculated. They wait until the entire village is dead asleep.
Then, they sneak out with the Mukia's son, Anuj, and completely bypass all the local warnings to infiltrate the 400-year-old abandoned palace of King Surajban. So what started as a simple biology field trip to collect a rare nectar compound, yeah, it has rapidly devolved into a really high-stakes, dangerous infiltration.
Once they're inside, Meghna experiences a completely illogical psychological anomaly. Despite literally never having been to Berampur in her entire life, the ancient palace interior feels incredibly familiar to her. Every single hallway, every shadow, she knows it. This is the exact moment her strict scientific objectivity shatters. I mean, how can the human brain generate accurate spatial memories of a place it has never physically been to? It makes absolutely no sense.
Meanwhile, outside, the storm is intensifying, and that haunting rhythm echoes through the village again. Bom bom bash, bum bum bash. The Nashir Molo have officially awakened. That sound alone spreads absolute dread through the dark streets, waking up the local priest and sending the Mukia into a total panic. This centuries-old threat? It is definitely no longer dormant.
And right here, we hit peak suspense with two simultaneous, absolutely terrifying events. Inside the palace, our science students suddenly hear heavy boots approaching, followed by a loud, creaking door. Something is coming right for them. Meanwhile, right at the edge of the forest, two villagers, Sampat and Kapta, are watching in frozen terror as the Nishir Molo's coffin slowly begins to open right in front of them. The variables have officially spun entirely out of control.
Suddenly, a terrifying scream echoes across the whole village. With a 400-year-old curse seemingly coming to life right before their eyes, what are these science students going to do now? When all rational logic completely fails against supernatural terror, and an undiscovered biological compound turns out to be guarded by death itself, how do you even survive? Well, that is definitely something to think about as we wrap up today's analysis.